Hey, shalom, shalom. Let me just get this going real quick, and we're good. All right, hey, shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which rule well. All right, peace and much love, honors and blessings, salutations to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which hold their conduct, composure, and integrity, understanding the times that we're in, fighting for salvation for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, this is Brother Yakawal, and I want to get into the topic. As it says right there, you know, it's quoted from the precept in Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter. But the woman, all right, whose heart is as snares and nets, and whose hands are as bands. I really want to aim at the real woman, you know, talking about these philosophies today. All right, you know, I wanted to talk about the woman in general. This is not a topic about women, though the scriptures, when it talks about women, it was said for a reason. You know, women in the scriptures, man, represented things at times. You know, certain women that Yahweh Shai spoke to represented the condition or state that Israel was in. All right, you know, and just we know that, you know, the scriptures, man, you know, are always symbolic as well. They have many understandings to it. All right, but you know, from time to time, man, you know, lessons like this are made. All right, you know, sometimes we'll use it to get on the woman. Sometimes we'll get on the lesson to make it symbolize something. You know, because a woman, all right, is made to nourish. She's made to comfort. You know, she's made to give you pleasure. You know, and essentially that's what a man looks for in this time. But you got to be careful. But you know, what I want to do here is, you know, I want to exhort and admonish men, you know, about actual women and, you know, keeping from your mind intact, to keep your mind intact from these philosophies. Because that's the woman I'm talking about, the philosophy that was brought into the world since the beginning of Adam. Okay? So, let me see. It says, you know, so anyways, man, both are tools, you know, actual women and philosophies, because it's likened unto women. Both of these are tools that are used by Satan in this time. All right, when you look at, you know, what is Israelite men who were chosen from the beginning to preserve and keep the creation of the Lord in balance, you'll also see that our purpose was whole. So because we already know before Eve came to Adam, like I said, Adam was in order. Before Eve brought that information to Adam, all right, he was in order. He understood his purpose. He understood his duty. Okay. But once Adam, you know, once Eve brought that information to Adam, that's when that woman came in and deceived him. All right. You know, me and a brother were actually just talking before I made this lesson. And, you know, he made the statement. He goes, Eve did something, man. All right. When she brought that information to Adam, and it's very true. That, you know, the brother made the comment that, you know, Eve had to have been very beautiful. You know, she had to have been very, very beautiful, but because she did something, man, that was enticing enough to make this man of righteousness listen to her. All right. And that is something I want, you know, brothers to take and always remember, man. Like, that's why originally I wanted to title the video that I wanted to title it, man, ... Women truly do have a hold on us. Because when you look at the power of a woman, when you go back into the scriptures, like the one in 1 Esdras, the 4th chapter, when you go into the power of a woman, she was used as one of the potential things that was the strongest or toughest thing in the planet. You know, in fact, I'll go in and get that precept. You know, I'll just go in and get it. Hold on, let me find the book. I wasn't even planning on getting this because, again, man, understanding that strength, you know, it'll help you be more careful and observant of what you give your mind to or who you give your attention to. Okay? And we understand that we are in the times where the woman is working all manner and type of seductiveness, allurement, you know, detachment, focused and prioritizing on her. You know, before I came out here, man, you know, sometimes my woman, man, she'll put on the radio on the TV, and at this time, man, that bitch Delilah, you know, back on the classic music and oldie music, she'll get on the radio, man, and talk out of her ass and shit. But this woman called in. I was listening, man, while I was taking care of some business. This woman calls in, and Delilah, you know, asked. Hold on, man, something's going on with my. But anyways, the woman, you know, was talking about how she loved this man and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And Delilah was saying, well, you know what? You know, if the man is not willing to prioritize you, blah, 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 it's better to be alone than be loved. Or no, it's better to be alone than to love someone and be lonely, rather than, you know, love someone and he don't make you a main focus. You know, that's the stuff that the world teaches to this very moment, because I just heard it on the radio. All right, you know, but understanding just how strong women really are today, man. You know, that philosophy that's been on this world since the beginning of Adam, you know, hey man, it really does have power. So let me read this. You know, the brother, you brought it out, verse Esdras 4:25. Says, wherefore a man loveth his wife. Well, actually, you know what? Let me get above that. Let me see. I'm in the wrong book. That's why I can't find it. I'm in second Esdras. This is first Esdras 4. And let's see. I didn't even think about to get the scripture, so just bear with me real quick. First Esdras 4 and verse 14. It says, O you men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or hath the lordship over them? Are they not women? So the question, so when you read this account, you'll understand that there was a king that asked, you know, 3 men to come forward and to give him the wisest parable, and whoever had the wisest, you know, would be rewarded. Okay, and you know, there was 3 men. They said, is it not the king who has the most strength and is the lead in of all things, or is it the woman, or is it the truth? We already understand it's the truth. Okay, but the first thing that was brought forth was actually, you know what? It is the first one was the king, then it was the woman, then it was the man, or the truth. Salakia, man, I'm already dropping the ball today. But the second saying that was brought forth was the dispute that the women hold and bear the rule over all men, because because from a woman the man comes forth. You know, the man is willing to, you know, the brother posted right here, man. You know, the man will come to bring everything that he earns back to the woman he loves. He leaves his mother and father, forgets them. They perish because men will go out of their wits' way to impress a woman, you know. So, which is true. This is true still. You know, understanding that, though, is a key thing in this truth, because we are being seduced by a woman every single day, whether it be a physical woman, which, you know, I hope you ain't giving into the seductions, man. You already know. I mean, you can allow your woman to seduce you, man, but you got to have a balance in that. You know, pleasure time, cool, have fun. But you even got to have a balance in that, man. You know, we're in the time where things are, you know, they're committed to you in your life to see if you can keep the charge of the Lord. Okay? You know, when you look at what us Israelite men who were chosen from the beginning to preserve and keep the creation of the Lord in balance, you know, you'll see that, again, like I said, before all this, All right, our purpose was whole. We had complete understanding, from the Lord. All right, coming back from Adam. All right, we already know the Lord gave and dealt with Adam, and he dealt with certain of Adam and his sons. All right, that's why Adam was called the sons of. It started right there where they were called the sons of God. All right, but we were given complete understanding on how to preserve and keep the way of the Lord. And it was through our actions and behavior that showed that interaction. All right. All we had to do as men was to keep those ways of the Lord. And essentially that's it. That's literally it. All right. Anything outside of that was, anything outside of the ways of the Lord was a woman, basically, a distraction. All right. An enticement. But when you go into, let me get this in Ecclesiastes 12:13, it says this. Salakia, let me actually read it. Salakia, my bad. Ecclesiastes 12:13 says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. This is and will always be our full duty. We have access to privilege and being under the condition that we keep this charge, though. All right. 1 Kings, the 2nd chapter, the 3rd verse, it says, and to keep the charge of the Lord, thy power. All right. That's our duty. All right. When you look up the word charge or to keep charge, it means a responsibility. Okay. This is our responsibility and our duty. One of my favorite precepts back in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, about being steadfast. So you hold resolutely firm and dutifully. This is more than just our responsibility and our duty. This is our livelihood. This is the whole purpose and reason for our existence. Okay? And as long as we keep that, like I said, we have access to privilege. Okay? So long as we keep the ways of the Lord. 1 Kings 2:3, and keep the charge of the Lord thy power, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies. Going back to Adam, what did the Lord tell Adam? He said to be fruitful and multiply. Being fruitful means that you brought forth a productive act, a beneficial act, an action that was beneficial to the earth, to the preserving and keeping of the ways of the Lord. All right? And these laws that we were given, these commandments, these statutes, these judgments, the testimonies was written and put there to, basically keep like a guide and a reference point on how to keep the way. It says, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whichsoever thou turnest thyself, going back to the privilege that you get for doing what the Lord tells you to do. Now, question you should ask yourself, would there not be something to tempt that? You don't think that maybe in time, to see if you're really a worthy servant, that you would be put to the test? And that's what happened when it came to Adam. The Lord told Adam and he told Eve, don't eat that fruit. All right. Of the tree of knowledge, you could take the good fruit, but not of the evil. All right. And so it's like in this time, man, take something that you really love, that you really like, or a hobby, of, something that you really like to do. And I always used to tell women, imagine, you're not allowed to ever put makeup on again. The women that do put on makeup. Or I've actually done it, said to two women who didn't wear makeup. I was like, imagine if you were told, though, you cannot do that. You cannot touch it. You can't, I just want to see how this, a little bit, just say you can't wear makeup ever again to the women, if, I said it to them. There's going to be thoughts that come into your mind. And even if you don't like makeup, the fact that you can't touch or get into it or experience it, or, it's going to cause these spirits to come on your mind and entice you to do it. That's what happened with Adam, but through Eve. See, these spirits knew, all right, that spirit that spoke to, or not the spirit, the man that had that cunning and deceptive spirit as a serpent, which we know is the spirit of Esau, the lying spirit. All right, that spirit knew that Adam wouldn't be seduced or enticed by it. To hear, hey, your woman's going to control you, man. But in doing so, she'll do whatever you want, man. The serpent knew, that man knew he couldn't get to Adam. But he could get to Adam through his woman. Because again, the woman whose heart is as snares and nets, and her hands are as bands. That strange woman, the lips are as a honeycomb. That's what happened. Because again, Eve, like the brother said, man, had to have been very beautiful, man. Had to have been hella beautiful. And then whatever she said to Adam to make him give in, that was the first, the first exhibited, strength and power of what a woman can really do to a man. They could take him out of their wits. Okay? And that's, again, essentially what is on this earth today. That philosophy from the very beginning has come all the way to the time today where, the majority of the world is gone to that woman. They went to the strange woman, man. They let the woman control them. The man acts like a beta, like a servant to the woman. Disorder and chaos, because there's no order with women. You could put a group of women together today, man, on the phone, and I guarantee you, out of that hour that they speak, ain't nothing edifying was ever said. And they talk about the kids, the family, talk about getting groceries, whatever, benefits, what have you, man. Ain't nothing in there that encourages or elevates faith. All right. Standing, devoutly to our power, to do the work for our powers. All right. Women don't bring that knowledge. They don't bring that information. Okay. It comes from men, where we teach order. Remember, the woman was deprived of wisdom. All right. She was deprived of wisdom. That same mindset was brought in the very beginning. Because again, Eve, there's one that says, hold on, let me get this scripture. It's in Genesis. NLT, I think. Genesis 3:16. This was the information that the serpent gave Eve. Genesis 3:16 said, hold on. Yeah, hold on. No, hold on. I don't know what's going on with this. I'm going to just start up from verse. It's not even telling me what verse it is. You know what? Let me just, hold on, man. God damn. All right, Genesis 3. And I'll start at verse 11. Oh, you know what? Let me just start at verse 9. Salakia. Verse 8. You know what? I'm going to just start at Genesis 3:1. It says, the title of it is called The Man and Woman Sin. It says in verse 1, the serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild animals the Lord power had made. And we understand that this is talking about a man. All right. We understand that the nations are referred to as animals, whereas beasts without this knowledge. But it says that the serpent, which we know as Esau, was the shrewdest of all the wild animals the Lord power had made. He was deceptive. He was cunning. He was sneaky. And it's exactly what he was towards Adam by going to Eve to get Adam to go off. It says one day he asked the woman, did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of the trees in the garden? Of course we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden. So the serpent lied. The woman replied. It says, of course we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden. The woman replied. It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden that we are not allowed to eat. God said you must not eat it or even touch it. If you do, you will die. So the Salaka, this is where the serpent lied. It said, you won't die. The serpent replied to the woman. God knows that your eyes will be open as soon as you eat it. and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil. The woman was convinced, and that tells you right there from the beginning, man. You know, she wanted power. Just like the woman today, man. She wants power. She wants to be over things. All right? That's why we live under a gynocracy. It said the woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruits looked delicious. So the knowledge that she took from this man, all right, she's like, oh man, hell yeah, I can definitely eat this knowledge. I'll definitely enjoy ruling over Adam. You know, it'll be fun to be on top of things, be a matriarch in the house. So it says the woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruits looked delicious. I can do whatever I want. Carte blanche mentality. Hell yeah. It says, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. It says, so she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it too. So she brought back knowledge. Okay. And again, it wasn't the knowledge that the Lord allowed Adam and Eve to eat or to take or to understand. But it says that he took some of it. And we remember that Eve brought back witchcraft. All right. Hey man, when you understand what witchcraft is and you understand the highest form of it, man, it's very easy to understand and grab the concept of it. But essentially witchcraft is a bewitchment. All right. Telling you something different than what it really is, or having something to appear to be something else when it really isn't. You know, like these women today, man, when they put makeup on. Yeah. You know, when because hold on, let me read that again. The rebellion part, because I just came back to the window, you know, I seen the brother commented. Let's see, hold on. It says in verse 6, this is all in the NLT version, by the way. The woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. This is anything, essentially, Salaka, man. Anything, man, it's not hard to understand. Anything outside of the scriptures, man, is witchcraft. It's rebellion. All right. To rebel means, you know, you come against it. So if the Lord tells you, you know, for the woman to be under authority, if that's the right way to say it, we are over authority on the woman. My words are tripping up today, man. Salakia. We have the power over the woman, man. We are the head of the household. We are the head over the woman and the children. The woman is the head, though, over the children, but that's as far as it goes right there in her garden, you know. But information against that would be rebellion. Now, the woman's, again, a matriarch in the household, okay? She's allowed to usurp authority. She's allowed to talk in the front of men, okay? That's rebellion. And that's information that she brought back. Now, it does tell you, man, she brought back a little bit, right? It says, let me see. I thought it said she brought back a little bit. It says the woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. So here it goes. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. All right. She brought back a little bit of witchcraft with her, man. Okay. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it too. He didn't, you know, again, like, and I'm starting to think, like, maybe she, you know, what if she didn't bring, now bear with me on this, man. Like, what if it wasn't like just straight up full blown witchcraft or wickedness, man? You know, you can use your imagination, but that's how it starts, man. And that's how the woman is. That's how it starts in this time too. You know, and I'm talking about the woman, the philosophy of the world. All right. The actions you commit. All right. Something you may give your time to a little bit. And that's how it starts. That's how the creeping in of that seductive spirit comes into you. You mess around with it a little bit, but then you realize you're giving all your time to it. All right. That's giving your time into the philosophy, or to a woman philosophy. Because your time is you're supposed to have the proper amount of time spent to the Lord. You're supposed to have a proper amount of time studying. You're supposed to have a proper amount of time doing the work, you know, being diligent, like Apostle Tahar, man. He made a video earlier today, man. You know, how can you not be an elect if you're doing the right thing? You know, because he was saying this one account, it's called Akia. It's a brother's account. I think it says Akia, and he posted a snippet of Elder Apostle Tahar, and it was saying those that are worried about what's coming. You know, you may know you're an Israelite, but you may not be the elect. But a man who's of the elect, who can be almost sure that he's an elect, and that's why he's got confidence, is a man who's given diligence in the truth. The woman wants you to be comfortable. That's why you're not supposed to lay down with your woman, man, all the time, man. That's why, you know, I've heard plenty of us brothers, man. Me personally, man, I can't spend too much time around my woman because that shit gets annoying. I don't like being like that. I don't like being comfortable like that. I'll get up. I'll walk away. You know? Sometimes I'll lay down with my woman, all right? And even then she'll try to be like, no, you know, come back. And, nah, bro, I got to get up. Nah, fuck that. You know, get up and do a lesson. Everything, man, in this time, everything is the woman. Okay? I wanted to get this precept real quick because, man, I wanted to, you know what? Let me read Genesis 3:16 and I'm going to get the precept I want. Verse 12, it says, you know what? Verse 11, who told you that you were naked? Now we already know that Adam and Eve were not naked. All right? That represented that, because what happened was they took on other knowledge. Again, you got to understand that. And so when they basically being naked is taking on other customs. All right. That's how they were naked. Okay. It says that the Lord power asked, have you eaten from the trees whose fruit I commanded you not to eat? And remember, this is something I don't know, you got to understand. We were all in the Garden of Eden at one point in time. All right. When they hid themselves among the trees, okay, those that represented the other nations, the heathen. All right, so they tried to hide themselves among the heathen. It says, the Lord power asked, have you eaten from the tree whose fruit I command you not to eat? The man replied, it was the woman you gave. Verse 12, the man replied, it was the woman you gave me, who gave me the fruit, and I ate it. Then the Lord power asked the woman, what have you done? The serpent deceived me, she replied. That's why I ate it. Weak ass bitch, man. And you know what, man? Bros have said, man, if you fall out to certain shit in this time, man, that just shows you were fucking weak. Because the woman was weak. The woman's power, yeah, she's got strength. She has the power to take a man down, but that's because if you're weak. All right? If you allow a woman to destroy you in this time, man, whether it be through another philosophy, because we've been given a pure woman. I always remember that. In this truth, the true understanding of Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua, man, we've been given a pure woman, a pure influence. All right, the Holy Spirit. Okay? True wisdom. And that woman will not, she won't dwell with you if you want to go to be a weaker man. All right? Being a weaker man means that you give into this stuff, man. That it's got the power to take you down. Like I said, man, you don't think at one point in time that we were going to be tested? You know, we were just created, man. The Lord was like, oh, no, y'all worthy. I made y'all to be perfect. Don't worry, you ain't going to go off. But then a scenario comes up. You're told not to do something, and look how quick man went off. Even the scriptures go into the book in Apocrypha. I think it's like Second Esdras where it says, oh, Adam, what hast thou done? You know, the Lord told us, he gave us one responsibility and we couldn't even keep it. So now he had to run thousands of years more and longer to prove if we're worthy or not. Because again, from the time of Adam, honestly, I don't remember how many years it's been over that. Hey, the water for this precept, man. I actually was going to get this. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been thousands of years that it's taken for the Lord to get to this point where we know he's returning. But look how long it took for us to prove that we're going to be worthy now. See, man? Proverbs 31:3 says, give not your strength unto woman, nor your ways to that which destroys kings. Proverbs 31:3. Let me go ahead and read that one more time. Proverbs 31:3 says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Hey man, a king has to be strong. A king can't be swayed, out of emotion or just every which way he, That's why, oh man, it's hard to say, because it's not hard to say. It's just, I've been lacking words all day, man. The woman, like I said, I was entitled this lesson, the woman truly has a hold on this earth. That's seductive, enticing. All right, man. Like, and bro, man, I remember going back, and this is back when the bros, when the apostles were having conference calls on the phone. Bros would call in, man. But I'll always remember one thing that one of the brothers or elders had said, man. He said that the biggest problem, the hardest thing for a man to control in this time was his rod. Because for some reason, man, even though we know that we understand fully what type of generation we live in, understanding fully that the women we deal with ain't even in their right mind. Even the ones that do get this understanding, man, there's still so much that they lack, because, again, the wisdom was not imparted to them. But just knowing and understanding what we're really dealing with, and a man could still lose his wits for some temporary pussy, That's the same way applying to getting your pleasure in this time. What did it say, man, in what is that, 1 Timothy? What is it, 1 Timothy? Where it said that she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Because, again, man, the woman is about trying to bring, comfort, pleasure, enticement. All right? Hold on, I think it's 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 6. It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. That's all the woman wants us to do with her in this time. And really, it's to give her pleasure. Because going back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, 3 and 16, it said, then he said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth. And you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you. That's why the woman, they're trying to make you feel bad. Again, man, these women they're working with Satan. All right, I've told this to brothers, man. When you're dealing with your woman, man, you're actually dealing with the demons. When you actually, especially when you're trying to do something for the Lord, and they try to entice you, and like, no, just one more kiss or one more, just one more. That's a demon, bro. And sorry to say, it's a demon. And I won't lie. Sometimes I fall to that demon. Cause I'll sometimes feel bad. Yeah. Hey, Elder Apostle Gabar says a woman is a creature made into pleasures. Yeah. And that is what we've been dealing with, again, from the time of Adam. Since Eve opened her mouth to Adam, that was it. That woman philosophy, man, is what came into the world. All right. And look, Adam went off. All right. Adam was righteous. Okay. And we know who Adam was. We know it was Yahushua. So Yahushua, he fell off. He fell to a woman in this time. So how much us more? And now that the Lord has experienced everything that he's come through in his reincarnations, all right? But, in all what the prophets went through, and they've given us a template. I'm like, bro, read page, blah, 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 book, the name of the book, chapter, blah, blah, blah. It don't tell your ass, hey, beware, man. That's why you got the book of Proverbs. Let me go and get it. Proverbs 5:1, my son. Attend. All right. Yeah, girls just want to have fun, man. Yeah. Sorry to say it, man, but I don't know who I was talking to about this, man, but they said the same thing that I said to them. In this time, man, if there's a woman that you want saved, the fact that you got to do work to pray for her to be saved. That's fucking ridiculous. That's the power a woman has on a man. Now, I'm not saying that, you going off if you want a woman to be saved. I have a woman I want to have saved, ain't nothing wrong with that. We pray for them, and if not, oh well. But when it comes to that point, you got to realize now you working to have her saved, because you know damn well she ain't going to do shit. She may get it here and there, a little bit, and this and that, but it always goes out, just the power just for a pleasure can cause you to go out your way and be like, you know what, she might be all right. I think I need to pray for her. Nah, man. Proverbs 5:1 says, my son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. It says, but because it's easy to entreat, easy to take in. It's what you want to hear. Ever notice, man, when you deal with a woman, she's always telling you what you want to hear? Again, because like I said, those are the spirits. The spirits are reading your mind, because really we do want comfort. We do want pleasure. We do want to lay down and just relax with the woman, man, and her pleasure us, and but you got to learn to cut that off. This is not a lesson to learn how to cut off the woman, man. I'm not talking about women. The woman is used as a tool. Her attributes, the attributes of what a woman can bring, are used as a tool in this time to catch you up. That's why I named the title whose heart is as snares and nets. Let me go and get it. Let me go and get that main precept then real quick. Ecclesiastes 7:26, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Because a sinner wants. What does a sinner do? A sinner rebels. A sinner violates. Okay, that's exactly what happened in the very beginning. Okay, the rebellion. All right. Damn. Look at this one. 2 Kings 9:30. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tired her head and looked out at a window. Huh? Oh, you're just making that a reference. But yeah, she wants to butter your ears with honey and lies. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's true. Let me see. That they may, Proverbs 75, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger would flatter with her words. That's talking about philosophies. All right. And this time it says that in Proverbs 5:2, that thou mayest regard discretion. All right. You're supposed to perceive and discern. All right. Is this a wise situation? Should I get into this with that one, or this and that? Hey, First Edges 4:37, man. I read that one actually in the very beginning. Well, actually, no, I did not. The wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. All the children of the men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. That's very true, because we already know what the next thing is that was said in Esdras. It's the truth that endured against all things. All right, anything outside of that is wickedness. So, like I said, going from the very beginning, that philosophy that, we don't need God in this time. We're lords. We can have as much fun as we want. We ain't got to discern the time. We ain't got to have discernment. We ain't got to have discretion. We ain't got to have perception. We ain't got to have circumspection. We ain't got to, we ain't got to be aware. Okay? We can indulge and be decadent and all that, man. All that is what the woman philosophy brought to the world. So you see the mess that is made by it, man. The mess that you get caught with when dealing with women. Yeah, man. Thank goodness I got a cold heart. They won't just do. Yeah, man. Because we see it. And once you have an understanding eye, man, you understand that this is a spiritual battle. All right, we're not fighting against the woman per se herself, the vessel. We're fighting the spirit that's coming out of her, man, because we already know, man, all these people got legions on them, man. There are spirits jumping left and right on the people, man. There are spirits jumping on us. But we have the understanding, we have the ability to feel and see that too, because we have the Holy Spirit. We have that power working with us to get them demons off of us, to see a demon coming our way, to realize, oh, no, you're a demon. That's a spirit trying to entice me, trying to make me slack, trying to make me be tired. Okay? These were things that were brought to men throughout history, to the present, and what's going to be brought to the future. Because men are going to still continue to give themselves over to a seductive way. That's why you wanted to say that they shall, that evil seducers shall wax worse and worse. All right? The woman's going to get stronger. The enticement's going to get tougher. Because we're at the end. Our spirits are being grinded down. That's what it is. Attritional warfare. Grinding us down little by little to see if maybe we'll just crack eventually, give into that woman, the strange woman. It says right here, Proverbs 5:3, for the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. Doesn't it tell you, to keep thy secrets from the one that lieth in thy bosom? Because in this time it's dangerous, man. And you women, if I know I do have a couple of women that do view my videos at times. Don't take that personal, man. If you truly love your husband, now I'm talking to you women. If you have a husband, you got a man. If you truly love your man, you're going to let him do what he has to do this work. All right? Even as much as you don't want him to get up at 11:30 at night or at 3 o'clock in the morning to go see a brother or to do a video, or y'all are watching a movie and he just gets up like, I got to do a video. Don't stop him, man. Because he's also fighting for your life. If that might be the case, But don't be trying to stop your man from doing this work. If you truly love him, if you truly love and this, again, to you women, if you do truly love your husband, man, you're going to take an interest in what he has to do, man, because something my brother said earlier today, man, us men have good intentions when it comes to dealing with y'all. We just have a job that we got to do. So don't make it harder for the man to serve it. It's not going to be hard because like the brother, man, like you said, thank goodness I got a cold heart. Hey, man, us sincerely, man, we have a cold heart now. Yeah, man, you don't believe it, man. I've dealt with a lot of women in my time, man, and I can tell you for a fact, Yahweh Shema Shai, keep me humble. I've done away with a lot of women, man, so I can continue this truth. I've done kicked a lot of bitches to the curb, man, because they wanted to take my time, or I just ignored them and they just left. I've been known to have a reputation among the women that I dealt with that I was just an asshole. I was like, all right, well, fine. I don't care what you think. I got shit I got to do, and it's more important to you. And the water you have about Shema Shai, like you said, man, and Lord willing, you keep that confidence, man. Lord willing, you keep that spirit. We're at the end of this thing, man. You don't want to be running, almost about to go to the finish line, and you see some woman with a big rack jumping up and down. Come here if you finish, and then you trip right at the finish line, man. You don't want to act like that. You don't want to get like that in this time, man. Sirach 26:13, the grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion, man, look at you go. And her discretion will fat his bone. Look at you, man. Yeah, like I said, man, if you're sincere, if you want the women that do watch this video, man, if you do love your man, you're going to let him do what he has to do for the Lord. All right? No matter how displeasing it is to you, because you want personal time, this and that. Nah, man. It's Sirach 26:14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth. Hey, man, I've told women, I bet you men have told women, don't ever talk about what I do. If you do let the woman know, you open her up to spirits. So you're going to have to deal with her having the issue of you going somewhere at times, to deal with brothers, man. But that's why the scriptures say to keep, I think this brother posted it earlier. Micah 7:5, trust ye not in a friend, Put ye not confidence in a guide, and keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. Because if you do, man, that's your own fault. You got to deal with them spirits dealing with her, you know, because she heard what you said. All right. Sirach 26 again and 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Yeah, man, we're doing this for you, you know. Sirach 26 and 15. A shamefast and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. Because if you understood, if you women did exactly what us men told you to do, the relationship would run so much smoother. And it's not because we're trying to be, you know, tyrants and all this and that. It's just because we're trying to do. We got our own shit to think about, man. Again, we're fighting all these thoughts that are in our mind because of this fucking world, because of what man did in the beginning, because of what men have continued to do, and the vibration and the spirits that are on this place, man, are constantly trying to infiltrate our mind. So that's why we're upset a lot. You know, we're not upset, but we're agitated, irritated, because we're fighting shit in our head that's yelling at us, trying to get us to bow, this and that. And here we come to you, and you doing the same shit. You know, like, nah, man. That's why you got to chill. But we know how things are going to run. This is a test. A test to see if you can abstain from being enticed, and that you can keep the charge of the Lord. So if you can do that, well, then you have a good shot of, Lord willing, be saved. Lord willing, you'll be saved. All right? So I'm going to go to end it with that. I'm going to make this a 2-part, man. I want to make this a second part. But Lord willing, you got the idea, you got the point, and Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm going to go to end it, man. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Hey, Salakia for the you know, the tongue twisting and the lacking of words today, man. You know, Salakia. But hey, all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and much love. Honors and blessings to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh Shem Shah Brakatham, Kwame Sha'ala Shalawam.